Hello and good evening. It's Sunday and it's 8 o'clock, and welcome to the third episode of our StreamYard show. Three comics walk into a non-socially distanced pub. I'd like to start off with a bit of a tribute now to the sweatiest man in showbiz. One of the hot topics we're going to be discussing this week. This is for His Royal Highness the Duke of York, Prince Andrew. Oh, Andy. You came and you left without sweating. And here's a quick message from Jeffrey Epstein, the billionaire American paedophile. Listen, do you want to know a secret? So that brings us neatly. There's two to start us off. I'd like to introduce you to my cohorts today, Mr. Paul Ricketts and Juliet Myers. Hello, guys. So that is our first topic this week. Victoria Roberts Giuffre has taken out a civil lawsuit in the American courts in New York, indicting Prince Andrew on charges of sexual assault. And Prince Andrew, of course, has steadfastly refused to say anything about it. But lots of people are speculating he's kind of been left to hang in the wind, doesn't he, by the rest of the royals? What do you guys think?
Well, I just think he's supposedly covered by being at Pizza Express. So what's the problem?
Exactly. Yeah. Deep upper crust he had, didn't he? But he said it was brilliant. Remember the Newsnight interview with Emily Maitlis, which went out in November 2019, after which he was absolutely destroyed. And I read a fantastic thing. In a survey taken just after that, 6% of the British public believed his story. That is fantastic, isn't it?
Because it was just ridiculous, though, wasn't it? Like, I mean, even the Pizza Express thing, when people were like, what did you have? I mean, obviously, I know it was a long time ago, but it was like he couldn't even name, like, no. As I said at the time, my belief is that neither he nor Jeffrey Epstein chose topping themselves.
Very good, yeah.
It was thank God. But he did either. He's just a complete liar, but he didn't even put any research into his lies. Allegedly, we have to keep saying allegedly, do we? In case we're beheaded.
Yes. Well, remember his famous quote was that I did not have sex with that woman, which, of course, was the catchphrase of another passenger on Jeffrey Epstein's plane, wasn't it? Which is yet to come out. People like Clinton, and there's loads of people that were on that plane. Trump was on that plane, as indeed was Alan Dershowitz, his lawyer, who was accused by Victoria Roberts in 2000 of having engaging with trafficking with her 6 times, and he was engaged as Epstein's lawyer, and it's partly his doing that he got him off with the he only went to prison for 13 months and then he came out again. And she's said that she's not going to drop that either. She's going to pursue him. But incidentally, in all this, people have forgotten about Ghislaine Maxwell, who was in court yesterday, apparently.
Was she?
Yeah, in New York, she's in court. Get this, I've done a lot of research for this, but she said that her case should be thrown out, citing the example of Bill Cosby. Yeah, that's a great name to bandy. Of course, I mean, technically, Bill Cosby did get off on a technicality.
Yeah, because he was, I think he was advised not to, that any of the stuff that he was going to say would not be used in evidence, and they did try and use it in evidence. So
that's how he got off.
Yeah, I don't know what the case is with Miss Maxwell.
Well, it's been thrown out. The judge said, no, you've got to stand trial. This is absolutely true that because there's no cameras inside the court, but there was the report said that Ghislaine Maxwell looks stunning. She'd really made an effort. I thought, that Ghislaine Maxwell should be well groomed.
So even in this situation, they're like, wow, would you? And it's like, oh, for God's sake.
I'm a bit disgusted with her because, I mean, you know, the Maxwell family name was so well respected before.
Yes.
Mm.
Because that's the yacht that Robert Maxwell fell off, wasn't it? The Lady Ghislaine was the yacht.
So what an awful thing. So the boat that your dad fell off is the boat that you get up to stuff in. That's just weird.
It's interesting, isn't it, that Prince Andrew, I find that fascinating that the rest of the royal family, including, they've had a crisis meeting this weekend, haven't they? Prince Charles and the Queen, and they've all got together as to what they're going to do. Probably, I mean, he's got no role now, has he? Not that he ever had one, but
I mean, the thing is, I would just say what I don't understand is, even if he's found guilty, what will happen? Will he have to go to prison? But I mean, surely the royals want no part of him. I've often thought, as awful as this sounds, I think replace him, just get rid of Andrew, but they're running short of people now. They've already lost Harry.
Yep.
I don't know. I mean, I think
Huh?
No. I mean, apart from the fact I want it, which I've said in the previous episode, I want to be Queen.
I think you make a great Queen.
I think I would. I have a face that should be on money.
Hang on a minute. Can we do a practice wave? Give us a wave. Give us a queenly wave. See how you do it. Oh yeah, you've got it.
Yeah. What do you do for a living? You see, it means more when I say it. Well, first off, I'd be interested to see what people watching this show, the people out there, what suggestions do you think we should do with Prince Andrew? But
yeah, that's a good point, Paul. What can people want to comment underneath? Say, what do they think Prince Andrew's new job should be? Just
new job.
The filthier the better.
Oh well, yeah.
At his mother's pleasure, although I suppose
Lollipop Man just came straight into my head. I mean, as he shouldn't really get that one.
No, I don't think. No. Yeah, and if people are enjoying this, please do share around and tell your friends about it. And please, if you are in a giving mood, go onto our Patreon page, which is patreon.com 3comicstew78. And I see I'm doing the plug-in bit now, aren't I?
Yeah. I think someone said talent show there, but that's quite grim. Have a talent show. Oh,
to choose his replacement. See, I think so. If we don't have Paul, or I think, see, to me, Boris would be good because he talks in Latin. He's quite gluttonous. He has many wives. He expects us to pay for his decor, and he looks awful. So,
but redemption, I think you should just do some sort of big reality redemption sort of program where he's sort of put on an island with celebrities and they have to discuss what he's done.
You know, all his supporters said that famous photograph that came out in 2011, you know, that gave rise to all this, with his hand round. They said it was a fake hand, didn't they? All his friends were going, no, their fingers are they're far too small for Andrew's. They're fake fingers.
If you're him, you'd actually claim the hand rather than all the alternative places the hand could have been. I mean, it was just round the waist. It's the safest place for his hand to be. There's a lot of stuff in between that area that he could have been. Who knows what he was up to? He shouldn't be claiming that. Claim the hand. That's what he should do.
True.
Incidentally, by the way, Cressida Dick said today that they're going to look seriously at the lawsuits. I love the quote. She goes, "No one is above the law." I thought, well, you are, aren't you? You know,
in the past year,
with all the Sarah Everard protests and the and John Charles Menezes. Well, let's move on to the next topic, which is a perennial one. Every single bloody year we get this one. I'll start this off with a tiny little song for all the whinging journalists. It goes something like this. Girls and boys get their results today. Standards are slipping, it's not like in my day. You need qualifications for jobs, of course, for when we're ruled over by our robot overlords. So, what do you think? Every single year they get a Tory MP on, don't they? And they go, I'm very worried. I'm very, very worried. Standards are slipping. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, because they don't want working class people or people in state schools, let's be a bit more sort of broad about this, to do well. Because then what's the point of having a private education. What's the point of them sending their kids to schools that it cost them money if the schools that are a part of the state do just as well? It doesn't make any sense. It's against the laws of nature. It just sort of reflects what sort of society we live in, which is a class-ridden one still.
And of course, public schools did far. The gap widened between public and private and state schools again. As it would, I suppose.
Well, yeah. I mean, I've worked in one of them schools, and
you did, didn't you?
The difference isn't. It's all to do with. I mean, obviously, they have every single piece of equipment you possibly could. Everyone's moneyed. Money is thrown at them. The food they had is better than the food you get in most restaurants. It's really good quality food, but it's just confidence. They have the confidence. Because in the end, what these schools are doing they're training leadership. That's what they're training, and in state schools they just train in survival at worst. Just give you enough skills, not to be on the dole for too long.
They always get very photogenic. It's mainly, blonde-haired female students that they photograph, but they never. I always just want them to pick somebody that's really disappointed, just going, "Oh, for fuck's sake!" They never do.
It's much more fun to see the bloke who blew it all out. Of course it is.
I was going to get 5 A stars, and I didn't even get my name right or something.
It's just
The other
He's got 2 Ds. He has to go to a really bad university. Oh no, the local college. It's all gone wrong.
I know. I mean, the thing is, I think as well, going along with what you're saying is.
That was Andre Vincent.
Private school, Andre Vincent.
Public school. I'm not quite sure what that means.
I just think Andre Vincent. I always imagine he went to music hall for an education. That's what he was there with. All sorts of weird musical acts.
But I just think it's that thing, though, that the pushy parents saying to the teachers, surely, oh no, our kids are all predicted A's, and it just seems like quite. I'm sorry, I'm now trying to read the comment that Graham Gall has written.
Graham Gall said he's have no sympathy for Prince Andrew, but how come the American courts seem to have jurisdiction over us? But Harry Dunn's killer fled to the States and is safe over there. That's good.
Yeah, it's a very good point. I mean, we can come up with a solution apart from the fact that it's because she was diplomatic immunity. That's the thing that makes the Harry Dunn case different. It's diplomatic.
Doug Siegel said there are 3 lovely people. That's Doug Siegel, a fellow comedian.
Andrew, I mean, I hate Andrew, don't get me wrong. I'd rather have a Nigerian prince who's trying to con me. But, presumably can he not claim royal something?
No, he did. What it is it's constitutionally, it's never been done before. They've never actually asked a member of the royal family to go abroad and give evidence in a case. It's never been done.
So I just like your idea, Juliet, royal immunity of the penis. That you could
royal immunity of the penis.
But yes, it's engorged with the blue blood, so therefore it's different from the others. Everyone knows. Rule of
Oh God.
Isn't it something like they're going to have to come over here though and actually physically hand him the papers or something?
Yes, the subpoena.
Do you know what they were talking about this? They were saying that they wouldn't be able to get to him direct. What they would have to do is find a close member of his entourage or his whole sort of household, who would then, if they were sort of like public minded, would find him and go here. And then once if he's in the presence and he's subpoenaed, then he would have to come. But that's never going to happen, is it?
Well, surely, if this is crying out for a honey trap, I can't think of another better situation where some local girls' school can invite him down for a chat, and he just goes, "I can't believe it," but they want me.
Entice him over for a round of golf. Oh God! Because apparently he's a very keen golfer, isn't he?
Oh, is he a keen golfer?
That's all he thinks about. Yeah. His handicap is actually his personality. But, or 2 under age. Let's move on from the GCSE things and to one of them.
Oh no, I want to talk about the Latin thing. That's,
yes,
Williamson.
Yeah,
because I just can't. This is so idiotic. It goes back to what you were saying before, or perhaps what I was saying before. about that you want state schools to pretend to be private schools, and that speaking Latin is not going to make anyone at a state school suddenly do loads better. It's just something that's it's a leftover of private school stuff. Why are you transplanting it? And it's ridiculous in private schools, but fair enough. You want to do it, you do it. Don't force state kids to learn when they could be learning useful languages. I mean, you can't go to Spain and start quoting some Latin and get your chips and your fish and all the rest of it. It's just, and if you're going to teach them Latin, why don't you teach them other sort of private school things such as like fox hunting, fine dining, how to treat servants, that sort of useful, rowing, perhaps. You might as well go the whole hog.
I did enjoy it when he was on the radio that Jacob Rees-Mogg couldn't remember any Latin phrases, could he?
Really?
Yeah, no, they put him on the spot and he's like...
What he does every year is he does that thing he seems to be able to say in Latin every year, but he probably copies and pastes it. He is risen, hallelujah.
I don't know. What's Latin for I've got 5 kids and I'm
I don't know. I was assuming hallelujah is one of his sisters or something, or one of his kids. Like,
what's his sister called Annunciata?
Yeah.
Annunciata, that's right, not hallelujah.
That is just so Catholic. You couldn't get more Catholic names. And here's my brother, second coming. Oh God. Let's
again. I didn't even know. I don't know what an Annunciata even is. Like
it's the Annunciation, where the angel of God came down and said, tonight upon this earth, our Lord will be born. He told the shepherds basically. They got a bit of a shock, because he came in a shining ball of light and went, by the way, 6 miles that way in Bethlehem, quick, don't forget your gold, your frankincense.
Even the lapsed Catholics remember every bloody word of it. Whereas us, I consider myself a lapsed Church of England. If that's a bit of a stretch. I don't know nothing, but you can just quote great reams of the stuff.
I wondered, what is myrrh? Is it scented oil or something? I don't know.
It's frankincense is the sense. Myrrh, myrrh is the oil. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm having a right mare. Look, let's move on to one of the best stories I think of the year, and that is the terrible tragedy that is happening in a Bristol farm to an alpaca. I think we can all think about. People try to put him down, talking about his termination. He's got 72 hours to stick around. Defra's been very patient. Don't get me wrong, it's not a good prognosis, especially when you got bovine tuberculosis. Well, I'm talking about the very photogenic Geronimo the alpaca.
Gorgeous.
Been given 72 hours to live. And there he is. He's got his own Facebook page, his own Twitter.
Hasn't everybody? There must be, I don't know, even amongst alpacas, there must be very few that haven't had an argument with somebody else on social media in the last couple of weeks.
There must be some alpacas going, I've done loads of things. Why is he famous? But
stop calling me sheep. I'm an alpaca.
I'm an alpaca. I don't know.
I always think that's
Manchester, apparently. But anyway,
jazz musician. Alpaca's great. Alpaca's great.
Alpaca. Woo. Yeah. Or even something from IKEA, flat alpaca. But this is Geronimo the alpaca, who's 6 years old. He lives in Shepherd's Close Farm in Wicklow, near Bristol, and he's been tested twice now for bovine tuberculosis and tested positive. And DEFRA, as we all know, who are the Department of the Environment, Food, and something else, they've given him a stay of execution of 72 hours. But meanwhile, there's been protests in Parliament, and the owner, Helen MacDonald, spent £50,000 so far fighting it in the High Court. What do you guys think? What does everyone else think? Should we let Geronimo live? Just let us know. Do you think that Geronimo should live?
Well, the thing I'm confused about is because she's disputing the test, isn't she?
Yeah.
Like
they're false. Yeah.
So it's like TB or not TB. But what I want to happen next is I want her to go on the run with the alpaca. and try and
What, disguised with a hat on like that?
Yeah.
Is that
exactly.
an alpaca? No.
You know, and the last thing you're supposed to do when you've got TB is spit, and alpaca spit.
Yeah, well, that's one of my favourite bits of it was someone saying that they're not cuddly animals; they're really awful. They just look nice.
Yeah, they look cute, but they've got a temper and they're supposed to spit. But yeah, if she could turn up at a Premier Inn and be like, "My friend's just very quiet," there's this.
Apparently, alpacas are they originated in Peru, which would have made. You can imagine a cuddly cartoon character called Paddington alpaca would be different, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I say, Mr. Brown, fuck off.
Yeah.
They do spit. They spit when they feel that they're under attack. And they're very sort of they can nip you, but also they make loads of noise.
I'd take Geronimo to a football match. It seems to be the perfect place. Stick him on the any sort of terracing with his fairy hood up.
Alpaca. They make loads of noises as well, which I think is quite fun. They hum. They
sorry, an alpaca just sits in the field.
And they're like,
like whales have songs, but alpacas hum because they don't know the words. Yeah.
The thing I don't understand, I mean, like, I feel sorry for this woman who feels that the alpaca hasn't got TB, and I love animals, but how has this grabbed all the headlines? Is it just that we're desperate for something?
Because there's echoes, I reckon. Echoes, because in the end this is a don't trust science story. That's the essence of it. Failed the test twice. Well, that doesn't mean anything. I'm sure he's fine because he's mine.
It's a lateral flow test, isn't it?
Yeah, it's my liberties.
You need a PCR test.
Yeah, just because he failed it twice, and they did it. They gave him a little bit of it, you see, to test him. So therefore, it can't be right. But that's how we do the test. That's the way the test's always been done. He's failed twice. I don't care. He's mine. And don't trust the science.
Oh my God, I'd quite like almost then to just piss people off even more if Geronimo can go on holiday to loads of places that, like. Just
I mean, the thing is as well, 90,000 people signed a petition to save him. Just ask the question again to anyone that's watching. Do you think that we should save Geronimo, or is he?
I mean he's from New Zealand.
Goes down. There he goes. That's
down. Good. He's from
like
Geronimo he comes from New Zealand. Oh, well, yes, he does. Thank you. Yes, he comes from New Zealand, and I find weird that it is. Why is everyone caring about this immigrant? But the first thing I thought when I saw the picture of Geronimo, what a beautiful black alpaca, and then I started thinking, oh wait a minute, black alpaca matters. I thought, oh, that's quite moderately, first thing that pops into your head. Until I realised, I read later on through this article, and of course someone had already sprayed this.
Yes.
On the wall, alpaca lives matter.
Yeah, but they've also said all animals matter, but I just don't, brackets, except the ones that taste nice. But
but of course. Yeah. But then, I mean, what's she doing with it apart from it's to make her money? She literally fleeces the alpaca. That is its purpose. It's not there to play with the kids. It's there to make money from. We're just trying to. She's made a mistake. She's brought over a moody alpaca from New Zealand.
Moody alpaca.
Moody, you've got a lemon there, love. You shouldn't, it's not. Should have tested it before you left. It was fine before we left. Well, it ain't fine now, love's gone on. It's not my responsibility, is it?
Hey, by the way, the New Zealand alpaca, he probably goes, please don't put me in the pin. It's fine. No, I don't want to be hemmed up in a pin. And also, he could be part of the advance guard because now they've moved the filming of the new Lord of the Rings film, haven't they, to Britain?
Oh, yeah.
Because New Zealand won't open its borders until the middle of 2022, apparently. So they're all coming over. So that'd be a great Hobbit film with a few alpacas in the background, a few orcs, and then some alpacas going. Well, that's quite a neat thing to talk about. Brings us on to the next topic that we've been told. I'm not going to do a song to start this off because it's too serious. It's too serious. We've been told that it's code red for the climate, and we've got very few years left to make any difference, and basically we're all just sliding into oblivion anyway. I mean, that is, they're saying that climate change is an emergency and we've got to do something about it. What do you guys think?
Well, yeah, it is.
Well, that's that topic.
We've been sitting here for years. I mean, you know, we could have asked me this 10, 30, 20, 30 years ago. So the same thing, you know, we might do something sooner, but it's going to be everyone says, no, we can all, by consumer choice, get our way out of this. We can't, by consumer choice, get our way out of this because we haven't got consumers haven't got that amount of power. For example, you can't tell your electricity person who's, you know, provider to just go to renewable energy. They might pretend that they're selling you renewable energy, but they can't guarantee what electricity comes down the wire to you. So even when these people are saying, I'm paying extra to get renewable, you're still getting, it could be oil produced electricity. Nobody knows. You can't tell once you send out the electricity. It all goes to a central place, gets sent out. So it's but governments are going to have to do things because we have to do big changes, and they can only be done via world cooperation to do them. And we're never going to get round to it.
We are the world. That's going to happen, isn't it?
I agree, but I think I absolutely agree with what Paul's saying. But I do think people could at least change the habits a bit. Like,
oh yeah, I'm not saying don't change your habits, but
but like, because I always think, I almost want them to change what they do with air miles. And normally it's like, oh, I've got 800,000 air miles, aren't I clever? And I think it should just mean that someone should come round to your house and slap you now, rather than you sitting.
Aren't air miles like the indulgences of the Catholic Church in medieval times, aren't they? The people build them. I mean, what about electric cars? I think, you know, I mean, I know that the leads don't stretch very well, but no, they are saying that that they can now go sort of, was it 80 miles, 90 miles, or?
Well, no, there's 230. You can go 230 in a single charge, but then you still got to stop for 20 minutes, and it's you have to stop at places where you know you can find a recharger.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm getting rid of my fossil fueled car. I'm getting in the next month or so, and
what are you getting?
I'm gonna have to get a hybrid because
hybrid means
hybrid. Are we even allowed to say that sort of thing?
I don't know. I just thought word association, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sorry, I interrupted. Carry on.
But yeah, so I'll get one of them. It's not an interesting story. It's man goes out and buys hybrid car. That's it, because it fits.
Well, unless the hybrid is like, you know, I don't know, half man, half horse or something.
Half man, half alpaca.
Yes.
Every so often he just spits at you.
I mean, but that's good. I mean, you know, hybrid is still progress, though, isn't it? And it's like, you know, so I met someone about a year ago, and he was like, "I love Bruce Springsteen. I've seen him in LA. I've seen him in Sydney. And it's like, mate, the reason he tours is so that you don't have to go far. You don't have to.
So it's more like stalking, isn't it? But,
yes. That's a badge of pride of like, oh, I've seen him sing Born in the USA everywhere. Well,
yeah, I have to say that, I mean, that is his whole sort of raison d'etre, isn't it, Springsteen? He's very heavily wedded to the car, isn't he?
God, yeah.
Icon, because he sings about driving down the lonely road
all night
with a train. Baby, we were born to.
If you're just popping down the shop, don't ask Bruce Springsteen to get you something from down the shop, because he'll be gone all night. He's never going to be back. I said, just all I want was a pound of butter, and you're still waiting there. Toast is cold. It's all because of him. Shop was only across the road. I could have gone myself.
Hey, by the way, I was thinking, with electric cars, if you get bought one for Christmas, you think, does this come with batteries? Oh God, I've forgotten to put the batteries in.
What do people watching think? You know, can we make? You know, what should we do?
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, people that any tips? What should people be doing to help save the environment? You know, things like burn Jeremy Clarkson, things like that. I'm not calling for the death of Jeremy Clarkson. I'm not.
There's a guy around here as well who he has a leaf blower that he uses all year round, like a petrol fueled leaf blower. And I just think that just seems like you're fighting a tree with petrol like most of the year. Like, stop. But
they're horrible. They just sound horrible as well, don't they? Leaf blowers.
Yeah.
And all they do is blow them somewhere else.
Exactly. The guy blows it under my gate.
Clear path, and then the leaves go somewhere else, don't they? Craziness.
Just keep. What I was thinking, what happened? Because you still get what I find depressing is there are still people, though, aren't there, even in the face of all of this, who are saying, "Oh no, climate change isn't real," and then there are people who are flat earthers. What happens when two conspiracy theories meet? Do they cancel each other out? To the flat?
No, it becomes. They seem to multiply. They seem to multiply and become more and various in a strange sort of way. This is sort of leading into, I think, talking about Rand Paul, later on, because I just think conspiracies all come together. It's almost like it's like a bingo of things that you can put together to create even better conspiracies by melding other ones and putting the hot bits, the favorite bits. So there is a grassy knoll. Well, at the same time, there is 5G, and you put them together, and you can come up with another one that will get more people to go for it.
That menopausal women are heating the earth or something.
And that could it have to be metropolitan menopausal women.
Yes.
Yeah. I think we could make it even work. Middle class menopausal, woke women, menopausal women. There'll be lots of working class comics that are now be going, that's more new targets. That's what I'm going to go for. And the stripes.
I always thought that isn't, how can you in this day and age believe that the earth is flat? And what do they think will happen? If they accept that sea levels are rising, which they say, but it's caused by other things. Just they think it's like a bath and all the water just runs over the side. Yeah. I mean, but how could you? But they are steadfastly. I mean, I had an argument with somebody on the Tinterweb, and I said, "You do know that Donald Trump has had the vaccination?" He went, "No, he hasn't." He has, but they just say, "No, I don't believe it." So it never happens. Fake news. I wanted to talk about the rise of the right-wing evangelical hellfire preachers in the South. They're all saying now they're urging people not to get the vaccine and just to trust in Jesus, so that Jesus will help you.
Well, I think they're just hoping that it doesn't kill as much of the people that go to their church. They're gambling. I think the people on the right now are thinking perhaps we got through the worst of it. Perhaps now there's enough people who've been vaccinated that we can stick to whatever bullshit we were selling before and say stick with God or stick with whatever we're trying to secretly sell. And then after that, we can claim victory because, we've seemed to have lost grip on the numbers. So the fact that so many people have died, we're all a bit numb to it. I mean, I have no idea how many people have died of COVID now because I've lost that sort of focus on it.
Well, according to it's about 4. About 4 people have died of COVID, according to the deniers. And of course, they've had it and they got over it. It was a piece of piss, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And to the Jesus people, what are they? They're saying you won't get it, or you'll get it, but you'll come alive again, or.
Well, I think they're saying that don't put your faith in science, put your faith in a beardy man in the sky who'll come down and save you, and etc. I mean, that is a clap on the doorstep you don't really want, doesn't it? Like, hallelujah.
That's the longest hallelujah I've ever seen.
It's very confident. Hallelujah. Oh, yes, Dominic says.
Well, good point, Dominic McGee.
That's very good, Dom. Yeah, why do those American anti-vaxxers who think God will look after them feel the need to carry guns?
Yeah, like they need to protect it. Yes, absolutely.
Just to be on the safe side. Yeah. I mean, if you were cynical, you could say that the evangelical Christians are kind of recruiting customers if they believe in God and the afterlife. They're trying to get more people to meet him even sooner, aren't they?
Well, yes, you could say that. I mean, it's. I'm going to agree. I just started the sentence, had no idea where I was going, so I stopped it.
I want to talk quickly because we're going to run out of time in a minute. But one of my favourite stories is the so-called Pfizer rebel, who's behind one of the campaigns of disinformation about the vaccine causing infertility in women, and his name is Michael Yedden, and he wants to buy an island off the coast of Zanzibar, of Tanzania, near Zanzibar, and turn it into a year-round holiday destination for people that have refused to have the vaccination. Also, not just that, any conspiracy theorists, he said, would be welcome to come and join. It's like Love Island gone mad, isn't it?
But they're going to have to replace the staff that work there on a pretty regular basis. Oh my God.
Yeah. Imagine a version of Love Island set on it. Yeah. I'm worried that Tanya's not speaking to me. I mean, she hasn't been moving for about 2 days. But what does that mean? Does it mean that she don't like me? Anyway, yeah, he's serious about it. He wants to buy a tropical island. Go Islands. Oh, very good.
Very good. Yeah. I mean, I suppose at least it's like off the coast of somewhere, so it's not going to endanger an actual population. You know, it's not like, I'm not saying it's a good idea, but at least they're not taking over a Centre Parks in Nottingham or something.
I think actually, Juliet, you'll find they probably are.
if this bloke Yedden creates this island for basically all the Trumpists in America to go to,
that's
and
right,
all the oh God, I don't want to use that word. For all the conspiracy theorists that we know from the UK, all of them to go there with their, carrying their flags, and wow, it'd be like some sort of perverted 1830s sort of experience, wouldn't it? I mean, it'd just be.
I think it would be. I mean, that's exactly. Hey, incidentally, you just mentioned 18 to 30. One of the things we could talk about quickly is the government's drive to get young people vaccinated. They're calling it kebabs for jabs, aren't they? If you go and get your vaccination, they'll give you a free kebab. And of course, Paul was saying the other day in the pub, I think you were saying that they'd have to do it. It's not going to work in broad daylight, is it?
Well, no, I can't see why why they're advertised. They should be doing it outside nightclub doors around about 1 o'clock in the morning when people really want a kebab.
The door just opens and there's like a little kebab going.
And you go, free kebab, sir. Free kebab.
As you go to reach for it, they inject you with the skewer.
Well, I mean, for most of them, they've already got the top off. They're ready to go.
Jazz for kebabs.
Yeah, you just go there. Just see. I mean, yeah. Even if they chucked in a cab home, that would be it. We can get all the young people vaccinated. Kebab and a cab and a jab.
I thought they could also try the tack because they kept saying, it can stop, the jab can stop you getting pregnant. I thought that would be quite a selling point for some teenagers.
Quite a good idea, yes. Yeah. As you're going in, jab.
Yeah. You got a condom? No.
Yeah. Do you want a prick to protect you from pricks? Actually, before we go, can we ask if anybody is watching, have you got any ideas for good slogans to get people jabs for kebabs is good. What else could we have? I don't know. What other takeaways could they pizzas for? No, I can't think. I've overreached myself, haven't I? Pizza Express if you don't want to sweat. No. Pizza Hut. Well, shit. I've gone down a blind alley here, haven't I?
Yes, you have. We've just left you.
You've left me swinging like Jeffrey Epstein,
because I feel like I have no idea what teenagers are into.
That is true.
They're into TikToks, aren't they?
They're into TikTok. Well, TikToks, yes, which I always just think, like when my nephews first told me it was brilliant because you just do 15 seconds of footage, and I've always thought I do that accidentally with my phone when I'm trying to take a photo.
You know what? They should do a TikTok for old people, just full of people going, what's happening? What?
Yeah.
I mean, what we should do is ask any young people watching this, what do you do?
Yeah, what's the
Yes, young
Please
people.
tell us in the comment section, what are you up to these days, young people?
Well, I can tell you what my son has just taken. He waited 14 months, and a new PS5 has just arrived, and I haven't seen him all day. All I can hear is explosions of people going, "Ah!" I mean, I don't know whether he's got the PS5 on, but he waited 14 months from when he first ordered it. That's a long time, isn't it? Yeah.
Wow.
I know. So, in conclusion, like, have you got anything? Any other sort of stories that you've thought caught your eye this week? Or
No, I mean, on the COVID thing, the thing that I think someone was telling me about was we're never going to achieve herd immunity. Apparently,
yeah.
To me,
Professor Pollard said this week. Said
depressing. You know, so what do we do? Because the Delta variant, it can be circulate. It can be transmitted by people with the jab.
Yeah, but it's ongoing research on that. Yes, you get bigger protection. You don't spread it as what's the figures I found? So something like 50% of people who are double vaccinated, they have 50% less chance of getting the virus from somebody else.
Oh god, yes. So absolutely, still vaccine and not herd. But what I want to know is what's happened to the previous coronavirus variants? Have they just been?
They've all been. It's a bit like red squirrels, isn't it? They've all been killed off by the Delta one. It's like the grey squirrel.
Yeah. So will there suddenly be will the vaccine? You know, like, will we always have the Delta variant, or will we eventually have another variant that has stopped the others? Will stop it?
Yeah, that becomes a dominant one.
Yeah.
Yes, the answer is yes. No one knows when.
They might have to go back to the beginning of the alphabet and then start again when they're going to run out. And so there will be something like an alpaca variant. Transmitted by spit.
But because, I think we've said it all before in previous, vaccinate the world. That's the only way out. And because we're not doing that, eventually we will have a new variant, which is better than the last one.
Yes.
And it's just a matter of when. Hopefully years, because it could be years or it could be months.
I know, but guys, is it strange that we haven't got a resident medical expert who could put us right on that? I don't.
Yeah, perhaps we haven't got it wrong.
Hey,
medical expert.
People are watching. This is Dr. Kishan Rees, and he knows what he's talking about.
But he's on mute. He's on mute.
Sorry, they're going to move it to stars after the Greek alphabet.
Oh, really?
Nations. Yeah, the World Health Organization came out and said that that they're going to run out of letters of the Greek alphabet with all these variants. So that after that, they're thinking about star constellations. So there is a potential for this to go on for a long time. And the other piece is that Trish Greenhalgh in The Lancet came out and said that there is a potential that this is airborne as well. And we've got to be careful and mindful of that. So I still think we will see. Other countries have opened up and had to lock back down again. And we're a few weeks ahead of that. So let's see. Hopefully not. I hope not, obviously. But there are, if you look at Israel, other countries who have opened up, had to reintroduce masks, lock down again. So yeah.
It'd be good. I mean, maybe they should, instead of doing stars and the Greek alphabet they run out, so they should do Greek gods. You know, that might make people feel a bit better if you had the Thor variant.
I think they said they thought some of them might be too. They did think about Greek gods, but they might be too difficult to pronounce for some of them. So,
Zeus, what's wrong with that?
Yeah, that's all. Yeah. Oh my God.
I've got the Poseidon variant.
Or the Latin alphabet, if we're bloody gonna reintroduce that rubbish.
Can't we have all the cast members from Last of the Summer Wine from the whole of the start of the series to the end?
Imagine someone just going, I've got the Compo variant. Oh.
Yeah, Or I've got the Peter. I can't remember what Peter Salis's character was called because you just knew it as Peter Salis.
If one of the
no, I don't know.
Yes, it was. Oh, who knows?
if one of these side effects was varicose veins, you could have the Nora Batty variant.
Yeah.
But like star constellations, so people will be like, "I've got the plough."
That's very good, yeah. Or the Water Boy, or Aries.
Yes.
But I don't. That's a bit. I mean, star constellation. I mean, that's it. The stars are supposed to make us feel insignificant, aren't they? That's why we look at them and feel like we're nothing in this big universe. As we look at the stars, to make the virus that big, they should make it something worse. It should be
What
something
can they call
small.
it? Yeah.
Name it after horrible people. Like,
Well, sort of horrible, nasty people.
yeah, I've got the Savile.
The Savills is a bit. The Savills.
Savile, Adolf.
Well, we could name them after mass killers or mass paedophiles. I mean, I don't know.
No, I'm not even going to go there.
Every now and then, just throw in a nice person one, so people go, "Oh, how nice! I've got the
Eunice Stubbs variant."
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
bless, lovely. All right, well, I think that about
and then
wraps it up.
please do share around.
He's
Hey.
back. Yes, you're freezing. Yeah, you froze. You're just about to wrap something up. Which
Do you know why that is? PS5. Yeah, I think it's like effect. Am I back still? Hello.
Oh, your voice is. Oh, yeah, you're back now. You're back now.
I've gone into the ether. I want to thank Paul Ricketts and Juliet Myers. And if you do enjoy what we do, please come onto our Patreon page. As I say, it's patreon.com, 3comics, Chew78, and give us some money. Woo! We'll be back in the next couple of weeks, take another look at the news. So